Good morning, Kurt. To a developing story out of GATINEAU Park this morning. 3 people have been rescued and crews are working to get a 4th airlifted out after spending the night in the cold. Police say 2 people were snowshoeing near Meech Lake when they got lost on their way yesterday. They called friends for help, but 2 people found them, but then they got lost as well. Search and rescue efforts began yesterday and firefighters from Chelsea were brought in overnight. The 3 men and 1 woman are all suffering from hypothermia. Last week, the NCC issued a warning saying some trails were blocked by fallen trees, and they recommend people stick to well-marked parkways. OPP are investigating after a toddler was struck by a vehicle in Clarence Rockland and died in hospital. It happened around noon yesterday. The 1.5-year-old baby girl was in the garage of a home when she was hit. She was rushed to CHIO, where she later died of her injuries. The shovels are out in eastern Canada today. Parts of the Atlantic provinces are being hit with the winter storm that pounded southern and eastern Ontario and Quebec yesterday. Air Canada has issued travel alerts for Halifax, Fredericton, Moncton and St. John, New Brunswick, advising travelers to call first before heading to the airport. Several delays and cancellations have already been reported. And that system hitting eastern Canada is the one that moved out of our region last night. Environment Canada says the snowstorm added at least 13 centimeters of snow on the ground at the Ottawa International Airport and about 35 centimeters in Cornwall. An overnight parking ban in Ottawa is in effect from 1 a.m. until 7 a.m. A New Democrat MP is calling on the Prime Minister to meet with Attawapiskat Chief Teresa Spence, saying her hunger strike has reached a deadly phase. Charlie Angus says he's reaching out to other chiefs to see what steps are available to resolve what could become a national crisis. But Spence wants a meeting involving the Crown, Prime Minister Stephen Harper and First Nations leaders to create a new relationship. Spence began her fast on December 11th. Well, it's not a record to be proud of. Canadians racked up a record level of personal debt in 2012. According to Statistics Canada, the household debt-to-income ratio stood at 164%. That's the level reached in the United States before the financial crisis. Experts say the record borrowing leaves Canadians vulnerable if unemployment rises, or interest rates go up. Fortunately, the Bank of Canada, though, is expected to keep its key rate on hold for now, giving Canadians a window to start reducing their debts. New York City police are investigating after yet another shoving death on the city's subway system. Last night, a man was pushed in front of a subway train as it pulled up to the platform. Witnesses say a woman had been following the man and mumbling to herself. A suspect was spotted on surveillance footage running away. Police say the suspect is an Hispanic woman in her 20s. It's not clear if the pair knew each other. And finally, you may have had your fill of sweets over the holidays, but one woman in Illinois has taken her love of gingerbread to a whole new level. Janet Gustafson has been creating entire gingerbread villages for 40 years. This one has hundreds of tiny figurines, trains, and Christmas trees. She starts baking and building from scratch in June and finishes on Halloween. And then visitors come from across the country to see it. There's no admission fee. All you have to do is promise to do something nice for someone else.